Well, good morning, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we're going to be spending about the next 30-45 minutes together putting on our makeup, and then we're going to learn a new scripture verse. At the end, we're also going to review the verses that we've been working on since we got started. We are now in episode 8. So, for those of you who've been hanging with me the whole time, congratulations. You have now memorized 7 verses. I hope you are enjoying that. Now, all our verses our foundation verse for the podcast is going to be Psalm 119:11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I may not sin against you. And then all of our verses are going to be coming from the Word and Color coloring book. So you should be able to see that below. So if you haven't already picked up your copy, do that so you can color those verses with me. By the time we finish this book, we are going to have just a whole heap and helpful of verses that are going to be memorized and in your heart to guide you, to encourage you, to motivate you, and to keep you in the Word of God all throughout your day. You will be surprised at how many times you will pull these verses out and use them over the course of your day. So let's look at our verse. Well, let me get the QR code up there. There we go. So let's look at our verse that we had from last week, if I can find that down here for you. All right, there we go. So our verse from last week was the moon and the stars you set in place, and that comes from Psalm 8:3. So I hope you enjoyed working on that. That was such an adorable coloring picture this past week. I worked yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to share it with you, but I'll get a picture of that posted in there so you can see what that looked like. And feel free to comment back with a picture of your image that you colored, because I would love to see, what you did different from me and how the word inspired you to color that graphic. So today we are going to be working on, well, I'm going to pull this one off. We're going to get this one on. So that verse is going to be scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Our verse for this week is taste and see that the Lord is good. And that's going to come from Psalm 34:8. So we got a little bit of a theme. I think this is like our third Psalm verse that we have memorized together. So David is always a great place to be and to hang out. So that's going to be scrolling across the bottom of your screen. So while you're doing this, we can be looking at that. And so this week we are going to be doing, our theme is the fade, not in the hair, but we're going to do a fade on the eyes. So you're going to need, as typical, a dark, a light, and a medium. And then for today, we're also going to be using, like, I would call it a super dark. So the color is going to start out more intense near the lash line, and then it's going to fade out to a nice light shade up near the brow bone. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So we are going to start with our Urban Decay All Night Primer. This is just a great place to get your skin and your face ready. This also helps to a certain degree control oil. I'm a combo skin, which we've talked about before, but this is going to help that, and it's going to keep that foundation from sliding around. So this is beautifully portioned. All you have to do is one pump and you are good to go. So do that between your fingers and then put that where you need that to be. I usually start out in the center of the face, work that out. Need a little bit of help around the eye area. Oh, hey, I see a couple of you joining me online. Good to have you with me. I know I talked to a few ladies this week in my store, and look forward to seeing them online, whether you're in person or you're joining me after the fact. Good to have you here with us. All right, I do use this around the lip as well. For those of you who are a little older, that just kind of helps your lipstick to also have a nice thing. It keeps your lipstick from bleeding out if you'll just kind of, near the end, tap that around your lips as well. We are going to be using the concealer. This is the Bye Bye Under Eye. It was specifically made for the eye area, but great for any coverage. This is a full coverage concealer, and my shade is number 11, which is a light nude. So, of course, get your shade matched to you. If you're wearing foundation, that's typically going to be 2 shades lighter than what you wear for a foundation shade. If you're just wearing this, then you would probably want that to match your skin. You can also use this for contouring, but it's such great coverage. Just be careful because a little bit goes a long way. As you can see, what this little bit is going to do. So this does better when you let it warm up and then spread it where you want it to go. So we are going to start out with putting it where we need. Just tapping it a little lightly. I've got a little bit of redness to my skin. I like that to be covered, so we're just going to tap this, using this as kind of an eye primer there. Oh, and thank you for asking. Yes, my eye is much better from last week. For those of you who were here, saw it was just a tad bit on the red side. Okay, so no, we're not going to leave this like this. All right, and we're going to use the pointy end of our beauty blender to blend this out. Making sure we get nice and good in that corner there. And you can see we've lifted, we've taken out the darkness, we've lifted that color, elevated the area just a little bit. So when we put the foundation back on, it's going to blend out beautifully. So speaking of foundation, today we're going to be going back to the Lancome. This is the tinted doll. I am shade 215. This is the buff neutral. Just give that a gentle mix. And the flat side of the Beauty Blender, I like to do a little bit at a time as I section off, so about this much will do ya. And you're just kind of tapping that in place. No need for like rubbing or being harsh with it. Just kind of gentle tapping. And then just another little partial pump. Another little partial pump. All right, I think that had a little more partial than the other partial, so we're evening that coverage out just a tiny bit there. There we go. I hope that you are having an amazing week this week. I know it's already Thursday, so we are more than halfway through the week. We made it through the hump. I know in this neck of the woods, we have had some absolutely spectacular weather. Makes me miss my days of getting to be a homebody. And just going along that chin, blending that out nicely to the neck. I usually like to cover my chin a little bit extra. I have a tendency to touch my chin and my nose during the course of the day. So those are the first two spots that lose their makeup. All right, one more little bit. We'll catch the forehead. My hair's up a little bit today, so I don't really have to pull it back. Wanting to get right up next to those brows, but not actually go into it. All right. Just making sure we've got the corners. Okay, now we have a beautiful, even colored canvas with which to work with. So we are going to just set that so that it will stay like that all day long. In love with the Lancome Long Time No Shine. This does have a puff that comes with it, so you can just take that out. Then you've got your little holes, so we're going to tip it upside down. You can see I'm almost about ready for a new one. I give it about, I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 10 taps, depending on how I feel that day, just to get enough powder out into the container part. Then you're going to give it a little tap here, and then you've got just about the right amount of powder right there. You're going to take your little puff, And I always start with the eye area. So before anything has a chance to crease or whatever, it is set so it is locked in place. There you go. And we're just going to press that powder in nicely. Evidently, I'm getting to the bottom and not quite enough came out. So let's try that again. Here we go. And we're just pressing that powder nicely into the foundation so that we get that nice oil control from this. And then it's going to help that foundation to have a nice, pleasant, not harsh, but a pleasant matte finish all day long. There we go. Okay. Now let's give a little shape to this face. So we are going to be using the Cheek in the Mail. This is from Benefit Cosmetics. Today we're going to be using the Hoola Bronzer and then the Cookie Highlighter. You can buy these individually and separate. This was just a thing that they had ran during Christmas time. We're going to be using our IT Cosmetics brush. I love this double-ended brush. This one here is perfect for the contouring for the bronzer. And then this other end here, I think this is actually a foundation brush, but nonetheless, this puffy end here is great for the highlighter. So we're going to start out with this end into the Hoola, just above that brow bone there, kind of in a swooping. You're going to do this. We're going to try to give a little more illusion that I have a cheekbone I don't actually have. There we go. Give a little color up here. Then I use the side of the brush. Going to go just under that jawline there. There we go. Give me a little more jaw than I have. And right around the nose there. And now with this end into that cookie highlighter. Sweeping down the center of the face. And then I guess you could call it an L or C right here. Just going beside that temple and right across the peak of that cheekbone there. This one's got a little bit of sheen to it, but pleasantly. All right. We are going to be using, I believe this one is actually a MAC brush, but I've had it so long you can't read the number on it anymore. We're going to use this for our blush. I am using the Juvia's Place. This is the blushed palette number 4 or volume 4. And we are going to be using this top one here. This is a lot of pigment, so you just barely have to, that was fun. You just barely have to tap that in for this to seriously pick up enough pigment. And like that is all I'm talking about. That is going to go between the blush and the highlighter, I mean the bronzer and the highlighter that you just put on there, just a little bit. There you go. Going to give a little color up here. Tiny, tiny bit on the tip of the nose. There we go. And now to the lips. I am going to be using, well, actually, before we get to that, now that we're here, we are going to do a review of our verse. So let me get back up to it. Here we go. So our verse for this week is going to be, taste and see that the Lord is good. And that comes from Psalm 34:8. All right. Now we can get on with our lips. So I am going to be using today, it's so small I can't read it, NYX Glide On Lip Liner, and this is in Disco Rage. Who doesn't need a little disco in their life? So I told you this pencil was small. When you find a color you love, you just use it until you can't. So inlining of the lips, we are going to ride as close on the edge of that lip line as absolutely possible so we can make the most out of our lip real estate. Here we go. Giving a nice V on that Cupid's bow up here. And then you're going to backfill just to the inside of the line that you just created using a little less pressure, just so that we don't have a harsh line of where that lip liner is that we just put on there. There you go. Now your lips are all lined and ready to go. The lipstick I'm using today is the MAC. This is the Candy Yum Yum. I just love this color. We are actually having a MAC event at our store this weekend, so if you're free, stop by and see us. My new MAC artist is absolutely amazing. So she does have openings on Saturday, so make sure to come by. She can do a class for you and instruct you on a specific makeup thing that you'd like to learn. She can actually do an application for you, whether you want an everyday look or you're looking for something, maybe you got, hot date on Saturday night, she can take care of that for you too. So look forward to seeing you on Saturday. So now with our lipstick, we are going to fill over what we just put. The lip liner in this particular way, we don't actually want the lip liner to show, so we're going to go back over everything that we just did. There you go. Okay, onward to the fun part, the eyes. So today, like I said, we're doing the fade. So we are going to be using two different eyeshadows today. We are using the Sweetest Pinks. This is by Juvia's Place, and that is this right here. And then we're also going to be using Urban Decay. Now this is their, I've had this for a minute. This is their Urban Decay Blackout. They do have that in their new single shadows too. It's just a typical, it's a matte, but it's not a harsh matte color. So we're going to do this color over the top of the frosts that we have in the Juvia's Pink. So we are going to start out with the lightest color on the brow bone. So I'm going to be using my It Cosmetics. This is actually a concealer brush, but we're going to use this for the all over color of the top over the brow bone. Evidently my cat and my dog are not getting along at the present moment. I don't know if you can hear that. All right, we're just going to go on that brow bone up here. Just cover that with that light color. There we go. We're not concerned right now with the colors can just be like harshly right up against each other and we'll blend it all out in a minute. Okay, so there's the light. Then we are going to be using, let's actually do this one. It's an angled brush. This is an angled eyeshadow brush. We're going to choose that middle color. Yeah, let's do the middle color. Middle color we're going to do all the way from the bottom to meet up to that color that we just put on. For me, it is going to be this shade right here. Whatever your medium shade is. You using blues, you using browns, you using purples, whatever. Just needs to be a medium depth of color. And then we're just going to sweep that color across what is left of your lid. And you're going to go all the way to where you can feel your brow bone. So about 3/4 of the way, for most of you, about 3/4 of the way up your eye. So I'll show you in a minute how far up you want it. Depending on the shape of your eye, it may be a little more, maybe a little bit less. But when we open our eyes, you want to be able to see this color just peeking above where your lashes are going to be. So here, let's finish this and then we'll take a look at that. It also will help you to see, almost nobody has 100% even eyes. So this will also help you to gauge whether or not it's even as far as what your eyes look like when they're open. So get it till you just about want it. And here's what we're looking for. We are looking for when we open our eyes, you can just see that color peeking above where your lashes go, right here. You want to be able to see that color right there. So let me go up just a tad more. There we go. And then as you're looking, you want both eyes to be about the same distance up. There we go. So you can kind of see I've got a little bit of a line happening there. So we're going to take this brush, no additional eyeshadow on it. We're going to turn it towards it, and you're just going to go over that little space where those two colors have come together. Just kind of go back and forth a little bit and just blend the two of those together. There you go. You get a little too much blending in there, you can always take your lighter brush and go back from the top down and fix it. There you go. All right, so now we got a whole lot of pink happening on there. So we are going to take our blackout color that we have. Actually, first we're going to, let's do this first. First, we're going to use the liner. This is the NYX retractable liner. This is in black. And we are going to put a line on our top. This time we're going to go about 3/4 of the way across. There you go. Yeah. I did notice while I was a little close up, got a little fallout. So let's use that fluffy powder brush and just sweep that away. Now we're going to take our blackout. Don't be scared. And we're going to use our smudger. And we are going to be using a general purpose eyeshadow tool. So we're going to start out with this bad boy. And you're just going to get a little bit of that blackout on the tip of it. And right up against that lash line, you're just going to give it a sweep of that blackout. There you go. And you can have that be as intense of a black that you want or not. Okay, let me get that. There we go. And we're going to fine tune it with that smudger. You do see that there's some fallout there. You just take that fluffy brush and you just sweep that away. Okay, now we're going to get a little more. See what it looks like right now? It's like all We're going to take the smudger and we're going to start by blending out at the bottom near the lash line. The smudger is going to help you to get a lot closer and more defined with that smudging. We're just making sure we're blending that out nice, good near that lash line there. There you go, just right down in there. Then we're going to raise that brush up just a little bit, and you're going to bring and just blend that out all the way to the crease. There you go. Now we want to make sure that it's nice and blended. So we're going to take the brush that we used to put on our mid-range color, and we're going to go over kind of in an upward motion where we just ended that blackout. And you're just going to blend that together. There you go. If you happen to remove a little too much of that blackout, you can just come back with that smudger, tap that back in. All right. Checking any fallout there. All right. Now we're going to take our eyeliner, which is the same NYX retractable that we were using before, and we're going to complete that eye by finishing out below the eye as well. So right here, just going to go about halfway. There you go. Now to our trusty eyeliner brush. The mid-range color that you used, we're going to use the eyeliner brush, and we're going to take that mid-range color just on that end, and we're going to go over that liner that we just put on the bottom and extend that out to the corner. All right, same thing on the other side. Okay, now we're going to take about the top half of this brush, and we're just very, ever so slightly going to tap it in that blackout. Come to the outside corner, and you're just going to give it a little bit of intensity right there on that outside corner. We're going to tap it, do the same thing on the other side. Okay, fluffy brush, catching the fallout. Tap, tap. Now you're just going to look at it and fine tune what you like, what you don't like. All right, we are going to press on to, actually, we're going to say our verse first, and then we'll do our brows. Okay, so our verse for this week. Taste and see that the Lord is good, Psalm 34:8. Now, in the picture, here, let me show you this one. So this is our picture for this week. And you can see we've got cupcakes, we've got all different kinds of cookies, we've got a treat, and then this little bird enjoying itself. So I would encourage you, while this verse is not really talking about food per se, but have a little treat this week and think about God and His goodness while you're enjoying that little treat. Now, don't do it every day or anything like that, because I don't need y'all coming back to me saying you gained 10 pounds this past week. But I think you know what I'm talking about. And actually, before we get to the brows, I forgot we did not put the liner on. So we are going to be using this is the Better Than Sex Easy Glide liquid eyeliner something or another. Okay, so nice fine tip. This we're going to use across the whole top because we are going to put a lash on. I know, put contacts on for the first time yesterday since the eye incident. And then today we're going to do the lashes, see how it goes. Okay, so line is going to go across the whole top of the lid. So you're going to start in that outside corner. Little bit of pressure, inside corner, smaller pressure, and I see I have got a, whew, there we go. Okay, we're just doing a little bit of line. This is just going to give our eyelashes a nice surface to stick to. Okay, gentle pressure on the inside. Just looking for a nice fine line. And then outside. And then join the two in the middle. There we go. And I don't know if you've seen, Better Than Sex now has a new brown mascara. I haven't tried it myself yet, but if you give it a go, shoot me a picture of what you got. I'd love to see that brown mascara on somebody. I think it's actually called chocolate, so that makes it a little even better. Okay, so now we're to the brows. So first thing is we're going to take our brow brush. We're just going to clean out those brows just a tiny bit from all that eyeshadow and foundation stuff we just did. There we go. If you do not have a brow product you love, I would encourage you swing by. Olivia can match you up with a brow product and brow shade that will be so easy for you to use. Your brows are a disaster. She can clean those up for you too. For me, with my hair, the current color that it is, I'm actually going to be using the Bad Gal Bang mascara as my brow product. But you do you. Um, I realize if your hair is blonde or red or brown or something, the blue is not going to be particularly attractive to you. That's okay. So, gonna take those brows, whatever brow product it is that you have, and you're going to fill in your brows, set your brows. This beautiful thing about this particular thing is it sets it and fills it in all at one time for me. I know, don't be jealous. Okay, going to the other side. This one's a brand new tube, so whoo, that one's got a lot of product delivery. That's okay. Nice blue brows. All right. Hmm. See you right here. Need a little brushing help. Oop, oop. Okay, there we go. We are going to be curling our lashes today. This is going to be with the Tarte eyelash curler. This is actually one that they launched for Christmas a couple years ago, but the Tarte lash curler is amazing. So if you don't have a lash curler you love, I would encourage you to get this one. Because I'm wearing lashes, I'm only going to be curling in one spot today. So you are going right up next to that lash line, but yet not too close because we don't want to pinch our lower lid, our upper lid. So there we go. Coming away a little bit. And say that verse together. That'll give you enough time. So taste and see that the Lord is good. Psalm 34:8. Switch to the other side. There we go. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Psalm 34:8. All right. Today I am using the Bad Gal Bang, this time in black. That is our mascara. I love the way this separates your lashes and how it gives you just fabulous volume. So our upper and lower we'll be doing with all of this today. One coat of mascara should do you. For me, I'm just trying to get my lashes to turn from blonde to black. I don't want to see my lashes when I put the false lashes on. And you can see I just sweeped that right into my eyeshadow. That's always fun. Take your shadow brush and quickly, while it's still wet, just sweep it away. There you go. Crisis averted. Okay, now the other side. Okay, we're going to catch those lower lashes now. Always rolling that brush around so you can make sure you're getting all that mascara, putting it to good use, and covering all of those lashes as best as possible. There you go. Hit the tips a little. There you go. And now to the other side. There we go. All right, today I didn't want to do anything too fancy with the lashes because I am just getting over an eye problem. So I have on a little more, there you go, a little more of a casual lash look than I typically do. This is the Transluce, and this is the lash called Sensual. And it's just a very nice, it'll give you a little something something, but it's not too much. So we are going to remove the lashes from the tray using my velour lash tool, starting with the outside edge so that we're not going to stretch the lashes in any way. And these I have already trimmed to fit. I did see a really cool lash though. Velour has put out a new lash that you don't have to trim. Essentially, it's kind of a 3/4 lash, but that's a super cool idea because then you get the great coverage, but you don't have to worry about trimming it or anything like that. And so I'm just cleaning up this lash a little bit. I had a little goop on there. There we go. That's always fun. Okay, the lash glue that we're going to be using is the Kiss Lash. This is the super strong. This is, I think, like a 16-hour hold or something like that. Um, the lash glue, the lash applicator on this one is just a nice little brush. So we're just going to put that on the top part of the lashes. Let me get actually a little more adhesive there. Okay, so going to cover that on the lashes. And then I like to go just to the inside on the back, just to make sure we got good coverage. Making sure to concentrate on the outside edge and the inside edge of that. Okay. And now set that one down and catch the other one. Getting the inside edge. There you go. Top and outside. There we go. I'm going to say the Bible verse again. That should give us enough time for that lash adhesive to kind of set. So our verse for this week, taste and see that the Lord is good, and that is Psalm 34:8. So that very first lash that we set, we're going to grab that one. Love this tool. It's perfect. I like to grab it in the middle and then set it down in the middle first and then walk it around. So we are going to set it right there in the middle of the lash, right up, there you go. And I'm going to take it from the inside edge, set that down. There you go. Make sure it's nice and settled. Grab that outside edge. Put it right up against that lash line. This is a clear glue, so while you can see it's white right now, it will dry down to a nothing. And I'm just going to make sure that the lash has actually got good contact with the skin by gently pressing on that. There we go. Making sure my lashes are kind of mixed in there with it. And now the other lash. Grabbing that in the middle there. You can see the difference between with and without. This lash is really nice because it's not too much, but it's just enough. Okay, setting that down in the center, grabbing the inside edge, right up against that lash line. And there we go. Getting the outside edge right up against that lash line there. And I think I've got a little adhesive on my tool now, so let me wipe that off. There we go. Moving that around a little bit. I got a little bit above my lash line. There we go. And then making sure my lashes are nice and mixed in. And again, you can see the clear glue is white for right now, but it'll go away in just a second. Okay. Giving it a couple of tabs, just making sure we got it all pressed down. Sweep in one last time for fallout. All right, and I'm actually going to go back to that cookie, which was the highlighter. I love this little highlighter brush. It's just small enough, but after you have finished everything, just give it a couple of taps in the highlighter, brush a couple more, just to finish it off nicely. All right, and then to complete our look, we are going to take the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This is the De-Slick. I love its oil control properties. Give it a little bit of a shake to get it mixed up. Tip your head back and spray that on so that you are letting all of the product fall and do its job. I think it sounds like I need a new bottle. All right. So we have now finished our look for today. We've got a nice fade happening. We've got our lashes on. We've got our hot pink lips going on. So we are ready to face that day now because we've got Jesus in our heart and beauty on our face. So a little beauty on the inside, a lot of beauty. Wait, lot of beauty on the inside, little beauty on the outside. So here we go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this week this morning, and I look forward to chatting with you throughout the week on social media. So let's review the verses that we've had so far. I'm going to see if I can catch all these on the screen for you. So we're going to say it first, and then I'll find the verse for you. So back in episode 1, we did 1 Peter 1:24 and 25. The grass withers and the flowers fall, but the word of the Lord endures forever. Let's drag that up there. A little review. How did you do? Awesome. Episode 2, we did Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. I'm going to put that up there. Let's see how you do. All right. Then we moved on in episode 3 to God's grace is all you need. 2 Corinthians 4:13. There we go. Let me give that to you. All right. Then in episode, I forgot what episode we're on now, but then we worked on I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And that was from, no. Sorry. Wrong one. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Sorry, I have to hear that Joshua fought the battle of Jericho in my head first. Okay, now we're to the next one, which is the Lord is the strength in my song. That was in Exodus 15:2. Then we did this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice. That was Psalm 118:24. I totally love that picture. Then last week we had the moon and the stars you set in place. That's from Psalm 8:3. And then this week we have taste and see that the Lord is good. And we're going to be in Psalm 34:8. And again, all of those verses are coming from the Word in Color coloring book. You can see that on your screen now if you have not picked up your copy of that. I actually first found this book in the HEB grocery store. So if you're at HEB, pick you up one of those. If not, use this link and that'll get you directly over to the book so that I don't know if they have different publication years or not, but that'll make sure that you're following the same thing we're following. So thank you so much. Let me just pray us out this morning. Father, thank you so much. For letting us hang out together and enjoying some beauty on the inside, beauty on the outside. Father, I just pray that you would help us to work diligently this week to hide your word in our heart as an encouragement, as a motivation, as a strength. Father, help us to just put on that armor every day, that we would be ready to tackle that day that we have before us. Amen. So I pray that you would have an absolutely beautiful day this week and that God would just bless you so much. So until next week, see you online. Bye.